Back-to-back carries. He's off to the races again. Can he repeat?
Fumbles it. And Baltimore's going to run this back. You cannot be serious.
He's going to take another deep shot. Diving catch Mason Kirby. What? The pass deflected away.
Oh! Hey! What a catch.
More stepping back, and he's
down, but it's intercepted. The run for the first down of the way.
Vincent is on his way. Oh my goodness, it's an embarrassment of riches.
And he is to the house. An unreal play.
Oh, he got it.
Baltimore walks it off.
It is impossible to be more excited than we already are. Welcome to the SFL Season 18 playoffs. Alongside Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine, and we're ready to rock today as Jacksonville and London kicks off the wild card round. Good afternoon, Mike.
Hey, good afternoon, Cameron. You took the words right out of my mouth. Excitement is the word of the day. 144 regular season games are in the books, and man, here we are. Wild card weekend is getting ready to kick off.
It is going to be one epic day, one epic weekend. Let's get it started. Jacksonville and London coming up next. Mexico City, Charleston later on today, a doubleheader tomorrow. Mike, Jacksonville and London, two teams with that you have plenty of history with. But this season, it's been about Marcus Dunhill, Johnny Pickler, and these passing offenses. These defenses are sneaky good too.
Yeah, Cam, Marcus Dunhill, Johnny Pickler, two of the top quarterbacks in this league this season and throughout their careers. 66 touchdowns combined between these two quarterbacks, but one of their Achilles heels are the 63 combined interceptions. So which quarterback can, avoid the interception and turnover bug today will probably see their team come out ahead at the end of the game.
Marcus Dunhill leads Jacksonville with 34, or leads the league rather, with 34 touchdowns. Johnny Pickler led the league in yards, actually had a career high in yardage this season. And Mike, he's kind of like the Brett Favre of the SFL. He's going to have some turnovers, make some mistakes, but what he gives you in the deep passing game with all the weapons that he has in the passing game is typically better than the mistakes that he may make.
Yeah, Cam, and that's for sure. And we know about the usual suspects on the London side, Pickler and Callier and St. Green and players of that sort. But here, London 7-2 over their last 9 games. And in those 9 games for Pickler, he had in the 2 games, that they lost, he had 9 interceptions. But over the past couple of weeks, London 3-0. But a huge reason for that has been Robert Merrill in the running game. He has 293 yards in those 3 games, and that's roughly almost half of his total for the season. So that's been a big key as to what London has been doing down the stretch. And then when we talk about Jacksonville on the other side, Marcus Dunhill, he has weapons as well of Grayson Willis, Kingston Ellington, and Shea Carroll. These guys have 18 touchdown receptions combined, and they're going to be a huge factor in what they like to do. But one key stat for both teams, Johnny Pickler, he has the most dropbacks in the league, 570 dropbacks, I believe, in attempts. Marcus Dunhill is right behind him second with the most dropbacks. But the key to this, Dunhill's only been sacked 9 times. Johnny Pickler has been sacked 24 times. What kind of job are the London Knight up front going to do to keep Johnny Pickler upright? And it's going to be a tough task with Taquan Hale with 11 sacks leading the league for Jacksonville.
Yep, league leader Taquan Hale on that defensive front. And the last time these two teams met, it was 42-35. It was a regular season game last season, but London won that one in a shootout. That was an exciting game from start to finish. But sneaky good defenses, like we mentioned. Couple of cornerbacks. Connor Darien, really impressive, flying under the radar this season with his 11 interceptions. And then Emmanuel Blackman, a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year because of how he has filled the box score. Anthony Wyo at safety is another one to mention for London. Not a ton of playoff experience, but certainly a veteran player in the SFL. And then, as you mentioned, Hale up front for the Kings. The community's split, Mike. Who you got in our community has Jacksonville winning. Our premier stats group, Jack's Data Analysis, has London as a 3.5 home favorite. And then here in the poll in the Rare Drop Sports Twitch chat today is also pretty split on this game, Mike. So, I mean, we've mentioned all of the stars. We've mentioned all of the keys. Any X factors that we haven't talked about yet?
Wow, Cam, and both teams in me studying this game, statistically, they're pretty much, straight up and down. Running backs compare, evenly. Quarterbacks compare evenly. Both of these guys have great receiving cores. The defensive backfield is pretty even. I just think it's going to come down to which quarterback can avoid the turnover and which team can take advantage of that.
All right, we'll find out after the break who's going to get the win. Ramos Lynn and Nate Hall have the call. Zach Holdorf and Eddie Gage are in our stats truck, and Mike and I are here at the studios. Jacksonville and London next on NXT.
Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
First time in SFL history, we have the playoffs outside the American continent. Welcome to Queensway, home of the London Knights, as they play host to the Jacksonville Kings. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Ramos Ling. Alongside me in the booth is Mr. Nate Hall. And Nate, we could not be more excited to see the playoffs here in Season 18. Two high-flying offenses. I think we're going to see a lot of points today. How are you? What are your keys for this matchup?
I am freaking excited about this matchup here today, Ramos. Good afternoon to you as well. Playoff football, we're ready to go. Both of these teams, as you said, high-powered offenses on both sides of the ball, but the key matchup is going to be both these defenses and how they're going to stack up against the high-powered offenses for both teams. Jacksonville, in particular, their secondary ranks as the second top in interceptions in the league. And how well are they going to be able to defend Johnny Pickler's high-powered, high-flying offense that he carries with him throughout the game today?
We're definitely expecting to see basketball on grass, so to speak, as both team captains shake hands, and the Jacksonville Kings, being the visitors, will have coin toss preference. It is going to be heads, and the Jacksonville Kings will defer and receive in the second half. So we're going to see the home team first on offense, as the London Knights' first home playoff game in franchise history will get underway. We are ready as Jordan Bradshaw is going to kick us away. Kick is up. And the playoffs are underway. Fielded at the 2-yard line and past the 20 already. Up to the 25 is the London Knights offense. And let's introduce you to the London offense. Johnny Pickler is at quarterback. Robert Merrill at halfback. The wide receivers are Mike St. Green, Vin Calia, and Fox Highwind. Tight ends Benji Madsen and Tiberius Bobine. And then the offensive line of note, Perrin Ibarra, and Anthony Anderson, our right tackle, complete the players of note of this offense. 4 wide receiver set here for the Knights offense. Gonna be a throw. Johnny Pickler inside. The pass is gonna be caught in a slant for a pickup of 7 yards. And it's gonna be 2nd and 3 coming up.
And getting the ball out early on this first drive is Johnny Pickler finding Webster Speedy on that right slant pattern for an early gain of 7 on first down.
The gate of 4 wide receivers set on first play. This time it's 3 wide receivers and a tight end as Tiberius Bovine is on the bottom of the screen. The pass goes to Tiberius Bovine, and the pass is going to be caught for a first down, another slant pattern, and the London Knights have the first move of the chains.
And as you said, first down of the game, Johnny Pickler is going to be happy about that as he finds the Hall of Famer Tiberius Bovine on another slant pattern. We're seeing a theme here on the first 2 plays, getting it over the middle on slant patterns early and often as they continue to drive down the field.
5 wideouts this time for Johnny Pickler and company. He will throw. Pickler with time. The pass inside is caught. Speedy again for a pickup of 8 yards as the London Knights get close to midfield. The defense of the Jacksonville Kings, Mike All and Taquan Hale are defensive ends. Buster Johnson and Forrest Dalton are defensive tackles. John Martin, J.R. Lawless, and Gary Hudson are the linebackers. The corners are Connor Darien, Terrence Pearson, and Bernard Gooden. Safeties are Greg Gaines and Stuart Somalia. Heavy set this time for the Knights offense. 2nd and 2. 4-3 defense for the Jacksonville Kings. Gonna be another throw. The pass to the outside. That's Merrill for a pickup of a first down and a little bit more than that. The tackle made right there by number 21, Connor Darien. But it's another move of the chains for the Knights.
And this time, Merrill finds himself wide open out there in the flats on the left-hand side. Nobody was there on the defense to get to him before he gets past the first down marker. Another first down, another move of the chains, moving methodically down the field on this first drive.
To throw again, Johnny Pickler goes deep, and Johnny Pickler has an incompletion. Great play by Greg Gaines. 1-on-1 against Vin Calia. It's going to be 2nd and 10, but I like the play call, Nate. You know, you throw the ball short 4 times, and then you try to catch the Jacksonville defense asleep.
Yeah, that is definitely a good play call. Pickler going deep over the middle. Over his career, Pickler has been perfect against this Jacksonville defense, throwing 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and getting 2 wins in the process. But that time, maybe throwing it into coverage wasn't a good idea, but definitely like the play call of trying to go over the middle deep.
Pickler changing the plane at the line of scrimmage. He's going to throw. The pass goes deep again, and Johnny Pickler is tipped and intercepted by Connor Darien right there. There we go. It was said on the pregame here by Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green. You know, Johnny Pickler is one of those quarterbacks. You know, he is boom or bust, kind of like a Brett Favre kind of player. And right there's an interception by Connor Darien, and the Jacksonville Kings are on offense.
And it looks like Pickler was looking for Vin Calia on the deep post pattern to the inside. And Connor Darien just got a good read on that pass, got good inside coverage, got the interception off that tip from one of his teammates. Early turnover for Pickler. First one he's thrown against this Jacksonville defense in his career. Not a good way to start.
Jacksonville on offense now. The pass is going to be short. That's Jack Wall. A pickup of probably a yard, maybe 2 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down. 2 very good quarterbacks in their own right, Nate. Johnny Pickler was a former first overall pick. And Marcus Dunhill is a former league MVP this season. Marcus Dunhill leads the league in pass touchdowns. And he was also the least sacked quarterback in football, which is a testament of the offensive line of the Jacksonville Kings, which is very strong. We're going to introduce you to them in just a second. Marcus Dunhill with another throw. The pass is going to be bobbled around. It's going to be picked off by the London Knights. And an interception each for each team. And the Knights are in scoring position, Nate.
Yes, they are. And this time, Brandon Ewing, right place at the right time, as he finds himself with his first interception on that tip by his teammate. I believe that might have been Telemac Scarborough on that tip. But nonetheless, Brandon Ewing with that interception off the pass and the tip, and London finds themselves in great scoring position for their second drive.
Pro set here for the London Knights offense. Tight end is out as a Y end this time. Pickler's gonna throw the pass, gonna go to the outside, and what a throw! Just over the outstretched arms of the defensive player is Tiberius Bowman catch of the game, and the London Knights move the chains one more time.
And what a play by Tiberius Bovine as well, as Bovine kind of does a inside to outside pattern on that route and goes down, falling as he goes down to grab that one on the reception. Great play by Bovine and a great pass also by Pickler.
Empty set for Johnny Pickler and company. 4 wide receivers and a tight end. Pickler to throw the pass inside. That's Bovine again, and Bovine gets 7 yards. The old guy's still doing it, Nate. Tiberius Bovine has been in the SFL forever. 16th season in the SFL, a 2-time All-Star and Hall of Famer.
Yeah, 2-time All-Star, Hall of Famer, but still can get the job done when asked to do so. Already with 3 catches today, 27 yards, getting the job done for his team.
Pickler to throw the pass outside is caught. St. Green, touchdown, London! The first touchdown of the playoffs. Go for the home team here in Queensway. 6-0.
And what a pass to St. Green from Pickler. Off to the left-hand side. St. Green was wide open. 6 points. Touchdown, London.
The Knights offense, ever so dangerous. You cannot give the ball, you cannot give him the ball at the 25-yard line. That's exactly what's going to happen, as JT Delaney is set to kick the extra point to make it 7-0. Oh, I'm sorry. We are in London. 7-0. There we go. 7-0. The London Knights lead the Jacksonville Kings, and Jacksonville has not had a first down so far. Marcus Dunhill, 2 passes, just 1 yard in an interception. I'd like to see a little bit more of Jared Willis here, Nate.
Yeah, definitely. Willis has been a good running back, a good workhorse for this Jacksonville offense for them this season. We'll see if they go to them early in this second drive on this next possession.
Return goes to the 25-yard line, and we are going to introduce you now to the Jacksonville Kings offense. Marcus Dunhill, the former league MVP and champion with the Atlanta Swarm, is at quarterback. Jared Willis, the halfback. Wide receivers are Zachary Patton, Grayson Willis, Kingston Ellington, and Jay Carroll. Tight ends are Jack Wall and Talon Steele. And the offensive linemen of note, Olivia Bleeker, Alden Bleeker, and Brian French at center. All of the offensive linemen on the left side of that unit. The pass to the outside is caught, and that's going to be Jack Wall for a pickup of 4 yards. He was spread out as a wide receiver, 2nd down.
Yeah, and Jack Wall can line up all over that, anywhere, either in the slot or outside along that wide receiver, anywhere on that wide receiver set, and get plays for his offense. This time he was on the outside, gets a nice out route towards the sideline. Nice 4-yard gain to set up a 2nd and medium coming up here.
Look for the quick slant here to one of the inside guys. Now it's going to be a handoff. There's going to be Jared Willis to the outside, and going nowhere is Jared Willis. Jack Russell makes the stop. The rest of the London Knights defense, Selwyn Lane and Chad Rowland at defensive ends. The defensive tackles are William Davidson and Cam Frosby. The linebackers, Jeff Gagne, Tony Roberto, and Telemac Scarborough. Corners are Tane Hendricks, Brandon Ewing, and Emmanuel Blackman. Safeties, Anthony Wayo, Jack Russell, and Ren Rie. Pass here by Dunhill is going to be caught. Can he get to the sticks? No, he cannot. The London Knights defense makes yet another stop, and it's going to be 4th down.
And this time, a quick inside pattern thrown to Shake Carroll, the wide receiver for Jacksonville, but nowhere, as you said, nowhere near the sticks. And a quick 3-and-out for this Jacksonville offense, and definitely not the start you're looking for if you're Jacksonville's coaching staff, as they got to punt it back to London and give the ball back to them once again.
The This one is going to be fielded at the 33 and being returned to the 37. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time at our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Johnny Pickler is going to go under center this time with a heavy set. 2 tight ends bottom of the screen, as well as the fullback offset to that side. It's going to be a handoff to that side, and going nowhere is Robert Merrill as Mike All makes a 4-yard lost stop, and the Jacksonville Kings have a strong start to this drive.
And what kind of speed Mike All showed on that play right there. As soon as that ball was handed off to Robert Merrill, All was there to get him for a loss. Loss of 4 on the play. Big loss, setting up a 2nd and long here, a 2nd and 14 here on the play.
4 wide receiver set here. Johnny Pickler is going to throw it inside. The pass is caught wide open and getting a first down, actually. I'm not sure about that one, Nate. I think he was just about a half-yard shy, but Rocco McLovin has a big gain regardless.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about the spot either, but they are going to give him the first down. Pickler on a nice inside pattern, as you said, to Rocco McLovin. We'll see if Jacksonville pulls out the challenge flag early or if they keep it for later on in the game. They don't want to waste the time out early, so they're going to give him the first down here, try to buckle down on the defense.
You know, they don't want to waste a challenge, perhaps a timeout if that wasn't a first down. Remember, the yellow line is just for as an aid. It's not official. The pass is going to be caught this time, and that's again Webster Speedy, who's been the #1 target for Johnny Pickler so far. 21 yards and 3 grabs.
Yeah, he has, out of the wide receiver group, he's been the top target outside of Tiberius Bovine. Of course, Mike St. Green has that 1 touchdown reception on that last drive, but 3 receptions for Speedy so far. He's having a good day.
Empty set here for Pickler with Robert Merrill spread as a wide receiver. Mike St. Green has that catch for a first down. I like that kind of thing that they put in, Nate. Robert Merrill used to be a wide receiver for the Storm franchise, now a running back, so he has experience running routes and catching passes.
Yes, he does, and that is definitely a good, definitely good to have as you're looking for that on your offense.
3 wide receivers this time for Pickler. He's going to throw again. Pickler to the inside. The pass is caught. Somehow beaten the hands of Connor Darien is Vin Calia, the #1 wide receiver of this unit. He pumps up the crowd, and the London Knights are in scoring position again.
Yeah, and it looked like Connor Darien had a beat on that pattern. Looked like he got really close to getting a hand in there and maybe knock it away at least, but Vin Calia doing a good job of sticking with that pass and getting the first down in the process.
That's gonna go with Robert Merrill. He's got a couple yards. Mike Hall makes another stop, and it's gonna be 2nd down and 8. We know what the London Knights offense likes to do. They like to pass the ball, and they like to pass the ball early and often, all game long. Johnny Pickler, one of the most productive quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's no secret that London loves to air it out, and when you got Johnny Pickler at the helm and a lot of the weapons on wide receiver that they do.
Vin Calia has an out route for a huge gain and a 1st and goal Knights. The Knights offense with Johnny Pickler first in football in passing yards per game, 377 passing yards per game, as well as #2 in football in yards per game, 434, and #3 in passing touchdowns with 32. #1, as we said at the beginning of the broadcast, is Marcus Dunhill. 1st and goal for the Knights. I think this is going to go with Robert Merrill, though.
Look for a swing pattern.
Going to be the handoff instead, and Merrill goes for a loss of 3 yards. Great stop right there by Lawless. And it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, J.R. Lawless getting in the backfield for a big TFL, setting up a 2nd and goal from outside the 10-yard line on the 11. Nice. J.R. wasn't fooled on that play.
Johnny Pickler over 100 yards in the 1st quarter. He will throw, pump fake, the pass is going to go for a touchdown again. Fox 13-0.
And Fox Highwind finding himself wide open across the middle on that slant pattern. Nobody on Jacksonville was there to even attempt to slow or stop that pass right there over the middle. Another 6 points, and London with the 2-score lead early in this one, going up by 13, pinning this extra point.
Johnny Pickler did get intercepted early in the first quarter. Other than that, he has dominated. 13 of 15, approaching 120 yards passing, and 2 touchdowns in the first 10 minutes of play. The kick by JT Laney goes up, and it's 14-zip. London over Jacksonville.
And we talked about it too before the game, how we thought this game might be a shootout. We knew how high-powered these two offenses can be at different times, but so far London has been the team getting on the board early and often in this game. Jacksonville has yet to get off the blocks. They need to get something going in a hurry, or else this could be ugly quick.
Kick return goes past the 20-yard line into the 24. London has more points, 14, than Jacksonville has yards, 9. And I think that pretty much summarizes the first quarter of play, as you can take a look at the updated numbers.
Yeah, it really does. As you said, Jacksonville not doing very well so far moving the ball, as Dunhill has thrown an interception already and has a 3-and-out, at least one in this game.
Outside handoff goes for no gain, as a couple of London Knights, including Selwyn Lane, make the stop. It's going to be 2nd and 10. The London Knights defense, got kind of hit or miss this year, Nate. They were 17th in the league in points allowed. They were 12th in passing yards allowed. Total yards 15th. So kind of in the lower end of the SFL, but doing an outstanding job, as Jared Willis has that catch. And he's going to be short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 2.
And yeah, I think that was a point of emphasis for this London coaching staff coming into this week, how they needed to key in on their defense, make sure their defense was ready as they came out to play in this first round game this weekend, and so far doing a good job of slowing down this Jacksonville offense.
Inside goes to Jack Wall, a quick slant. Goes for a first down as Jack Russell makes the stop, and that's the first down of the game for the Kings offense.
Yeah, first down of the game for Jacksonville, coming in at the 32nd point here in the first quarter. But now that that's under their belt, Marcus Dunhill can maybe try to open things up in the passing game, try to look for some of his other options through the air, and move the ball further down the field as they look to score here on this drive.
Jacksonville was first in the league, best in football in 3rd down percentage with a 63% rate, as Jared Willis just gets a couple of great play right there by Anthony Wayo, former King player. As we reach the end of a very fast-moving first quarter, London 14, Jacksonville nothing. You're watching the SFL playoffs presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Queensway, London, England in the United Kingdom. The London Knights with an explosive first quarter lead, 14-0. Passing the ball is Dunhill, goes to the outside. That's Talon Steele, first down and more. Talon Steele past the 50-yard line to the 43. The Jacksonville Kings finally able to move the ball with some consistency, Nate.
Yes, they are. And the first time today that we've seen Jacksonville on London's side of the field after that great throw by Marcus Dunhill over to the tight end. Hashtag throw it to the tight end. Talon Steele just found himself wide open over there on the right-hand side, getting all the way down inside the 45 to the 43. Great pass.
Jacksonville Kings offense, 320 passing yards per game, was 4th best in the SFL. Going very explosive here in the start of the second quarter of play. This handoff goes to Willis, though. Makes a man miss, but gets double team tackled for no gain. Second down coming up. Jared Willis really hasn't been involved much in this game. Second carry of the game, only 1 yard.
Yeah, so far in this first half, Jared Willis has been bottled up early and often. Nowhere to run so far for him yet, but we'll see if he can change that as this game progresses.
Second and 10, the ball at the 43-yard line. To pass is Dunhill. Pass to the outside. Caught again. Jack Wall makes a spin move, makes a guy miss, and gets a first down. Very similar play, Nate, that what they ran with Talon Steele a couple plays ago, but just now with the number 1 tight end.
Yeah, same side of the field. Even nice throw and catch from Dunhill this time to Wall. Nice first down play, and they're methodically, consistently moving the ball down the field with first downs now almost to the 30.
Jack Wall has been about the only one who's been able to get open. That play, though, a good throw by Marcus Dunhill, goes to Zachary Patton, first catch of the game.
Yeah, Patton, the rookie 4th-round pick out of Lexington, does get his first catch of the game. Good 7-yard gain right there over the middle, setting up a second and short. And again, moving the ball very well.
Second and 3, ball at the 24-yard line. A handoff goes to Willis for maybe a couple. It's going to be 3rd and short. The SFL has partnered with Rare Drop and Rare Drop Sports to advance live events and distribution. Live in and in-person championship weekends, rookie drafts, and community events are in the works. Tomorrow, catch Tulsa against DC on Rare Drop Sports Twitch. Visit raredrop.co for more info on what the company does in the gaming community, and follow Rare Drop Sports on Twitch at twitch.tv/rdsports. That's Robert David Sports. Pass to Jack Wall inside, goes for a first down on a quick slant, and the Jacksonville Kings move the chains one more time.
And that is Wall's 4th catch already in this game, and I believe either his 2nd or 3rd catch of this drive. So a big part of this offense as they are continuing to move down this field.
Bunch set on the top of the screen. Dunhill to throw to the end zone. Dunhill, pass is knocked away and incomplete, as he was trying to connect with a wide receiver in the end zone, but a good coverage play right there by the corner.
Yeah, Tanner Hendricks was back there to tip that one away. Looks like that receiver had a chance to maybe catch it off the tip, but nonetheless, falls to the turf incomplete. Luckily, though, good thing for Jacksonville, has new life on 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 14-yard line. Dunhill under center. Dunhill will pass the ball quickly to the inside. That's going to be caught for a pickup of 3 yards. That's Willis. First catch of the game as well. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Second catch of the game, for Grayson Willis.
Yeah, 2nd catch. This time it was only a short three-yard gain, but big 3rd down here as they look to get the first down to move to within touchdown scoring range.
4 wide receivers said the pass goes inside. It's caught, and getting to the 2-yard line is Kingston Ellington for Shea Carroll for a 1st and goal.
Yeah, it looks like a couple of players took exception to that play being made. A little extracurriculars down there after the catch was made and the tackle. But a nice play over the middle. 1st and goal coming up here for Jacksonville.
I think this is Jared Willis' time. No, it's going to be a pass Pass, sidearm throw, it's caught for a touchdown! Kingston Ellington! Excuse me, again, Shake Harrell one more time with a touchdown. The Jacksonville Kings, with by far their best offensive drive of the game, put the ball in the end zone, and it's 14-6.
And that was an amazing tight end crossing pattern where the tight ends crossed right there in the end zone. Confused the London DBs maybe a little bit as the tight ends crossed there. And Shake Harrell able to find himself open on the left side. Good job by Dunhill to spot that, get the ball there to Carroll. 6 points, and they're finally on the board to cut this lead to half.
Why did they have to make number 88 and 82 so similar? I'm just kidding. 14-7, the London Knights still lead, but the Jacksonville Kings go 14 plays, 75 yards, including Marcus Dunhill going 10 of 11 for 74 yards and putting the ball in the end zone. Exactly what they needed, Nate. You know, we talked in the commercial break how they needed to have a long, sustained drive with 7 points.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. Had that long, sustained drive that they needed to get themselves right back in this ball game, cutting the lead in half. And a long way to go in this ball game yet. Only not quite halfway through the second quarter yet, and right back in this game. Anybody's ball game so far, as Jacksonville put a great drive together, get themselves right back in this game, and now London has to find themselves at the 25 after that kick return to try to score again.
Formation, 11 personnel here for the London Knights offense. Nickel defense by the Jacksonville Kings. To pass, it's going to be a quick slant, and the pass is knocked away. Almost picked off. And it's going to be 2nd 10.
Looked like Pickler was trying to get the ball over to Webster Speedy again on that inside crossing pattern. But a great defensive play made by inside linebacker John Martin to dive and get a paw on that one, knock it away, and knock it to the turf for an incompletion.
2nd down and 10 yards to go. Johnny Pickler's updated numbers. Quarterback rating over 100. 2 touchdowns. Does have that 1 interception in the first quarter. And it's going to be 2nd and 10 this time. Pickler under center. Drops back. Pickler. Pass to the inside is almost picked off again. As number 27 right there, that's Bernard Gooden, gets the pass deflection. It's going to be 3rd and long.
And that pass didn't even find its way anywhere close to the receiver, as Bernard Gooden got a beat on that pass way before it got to where the receiver was located. Got a hand up, knocked it away. 3rd and 10 coming up here for London as it come out in an empty set.
They have to look for the deep post route here to either Vin Calia or Mike St. Green. It's going to be the corner instead. St. Green has it! Mike St. Green past the 50 to the 7-yard line. And for the first time, we have a huge play by the London Knights offense. Nate, we've seen just dink and dunk. We've seen the slant patterns. We've seen the quick outs. For the first time, we see the huge play by the London Knights.
Yeah, and this time they find none other than Mike St. Green. Jacksonville's Bernard Gooden just got caught out of position on that corner route, and St. Green was able to jump up and grab that one on a deep corner pattern. It runs down the sidelines for a big gain all the way down to the 37-yard line. What a play all the way down there for a big gain for a first down.
Going to be another throw. Johnny Pickler will toss it to Robert Merrill, who's going to lose 2 yards. 215 pounds. Just absolutely jumped like if it was a basketball player, like a 6'8" basketball player. And got that one. 2nd and 12 coming up for the London Knights offense. Just right there in the fringes of field goal range for JT Delaney at the 39-yard line. Another heavy set. It's going to be another pass. They're going to try it again with Robert Merrill to the outside. Merrill will make a spin move, breaks a tackle, gets 7 yards. Way better than the last play, as Johnny Pickler is up to 161 yards passing.
Yeah, and this time they got the ball out to Robert Merrill in the flats. He was able to get a spin move right around Connor Darien, make a miss, and get an extra 5 yards or so off that spin move, get them in 3rd and medium range to set up an easier 3rd down conversion opportunity here on 3rd down.
To throw, Pickler, the pass to the outside. I don't know how he was able to connect with Tyvarius Bovine, who's had a quiet second quarter, but that was not quiet at all. First down, Tyvarius Bovine this season, 71 catches, was second most on the team to Robert Merrill, 733 yards and 5 touchdowns. He was the only target of this Knights team with over 100 targets. This pass goes to Robert Merrill for a pickup of 3 yards, second down.
And that time, Connor Darien tackled Robert Merrill like he meant it. There's been a couple plays in a row where Darien's had a couple of either whether it be a missed tackle or a pass that just goes by him, but a couple of missed plays on defense. And Darien took exception to those plays and tackled Robert Merrill with a little bit more gusto on that play.
Swing pass again. That's Robert Merrill. He has some space. Robert Merrill gets the first down to the 11-yard line. Moves the chains. Mike St. Green and Vin Calia, one of the best wide receiver duos in the SFL, Nate. One of the very, very few who got over 1,000 yards each. Vin Calia, 1,220. Mike St. Green, 1,020 season. Both of them ranking in the top 15.
Yeah, and that's the kind of firepower, and when you throw in the tight ends as well for this this London offense, it's kind of firepower that Johnny Pickler has to work with on this offense.
As he was unable to get the speed on the outside, it's going to be 2nd and 13 as the big defensive lineman Buster Johnson makes the stop.
And a good drive by London so far as they find themselves inside the 15-yard line to respond to Jacksonville's last drive with a sustained drive of their own here for London's offense.
High power set on 2nd and 13. I think it's going to go with Robert Merrill, and he's running out of stamina. He goes to the outside, breaks a tackle, gets a couple yards to the 12-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 11. The SFL convention is coming to the Las Vegas Strip July 10th to 12th. HyperX Sports Arena Deluxer will host the season kickoff featuring all 28 teams in action, live commentary throughout the day, every game on the big screens, and your chance to be introduced to the world as a football star. Room rates are just $80 per night stay. Visit simulationfl.net/convention as we have a pass incomplete. It's going to be 4th down. Simulationfl.net/convention for more information and to reserve your room. A little bit slow to get up is the wide receiver, but does get up as JT Delaney will attempt the first field goal of the game.
Yeah, and JT Delaney will try to get 3 more points. But as far as the convention, I know I'll be there. So if opportunity to meet Mr. Nate Hall in person isn't reason enough for you to get your behinds over to Las Vegas and try to find your way over there to meet me in person, then I don't know what will. So get your reservations made today so you can meet me over there in July.
That kicks in the net. 17-7. The London Knights offense lead.
Yeah, JT Delaney getting a nice 3-point field goal up through the uprights, a nice 10-point lead now for London, and find themselves back up by 2 scores after Jacksonville scored on their previous drive.
It goes by JT Delaney. Fielded by Patton. Patton to the 24-yard line. That's where the Jacksonville Kings offense will start. Again, if you want to join the chat, everybody, go to twitch.tv/RD Sports. Again, that's Robert David Sports. Twitch.tv/RD Sports. And join the 100 plus watching the game and chatting with us to start this playoffs. 1st and 10. Under center is Marcus Dunhill. He will throw the pass to the outside. Goes to Jared Willis. Willis tries to make a spin move. Goes nowhere. It's going to be a pickup of 3 yards. 2nd and 7.
Yeah, and now Jacksonville's offense is going to have to try to find a way to match that last sustaining drive that they had on their previous offensive possession to try to keep pace with this London offense that seems to be clicking on all cylinders so far here in the first half.
2nd and 7. The ball at the 27-yard line. Last play before the 2-minute warning. The pass to the outside is caught. Talon still has maybe a couple on the play. Not much further than that. It's going to be 3rd and 6 coming up. But we have the 2-minute warning. We'll be right back from Queensway. You're watching the SFL playoffs presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Back here in Queensway, a big 3rd down and 6. As big as it gets in the first half. It's going to be an encroachment right there by William Davidson as he got a little bit too eager. Good job by Marcus Dunhill, to be fair, as we take a look at R62 for the first time today. Good job by Marcus Dunhill with a hard count. I mean, there's no excuse, William Davidson. You're right there in front of you're over the football, man. There's no excuse.
William Davidson, maybe getting a little jumpy. Knew how big this 3rd down was himself to try to get this stop, try to get the ball back for his offense. But yeah, it's playoff football. You got to have more poise than that on defense. You got to stay on that line and not move into the ball snap. Now it's a lot closer of a 3rd down here as Jacksonville gets a 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1, another offsides! First down either way by Jared Willis. I think the penalty is going to be a decline. I mean, it's the same 5 yards.
Yeah,
but
please don't tell me please don't tell me it's William Davidson again. I think Chad might lose his mind.
I think that's Selwyn Lane. Yeah, that's number 69, okay. Selwyn Lane. Jumping off sides. Unbelievable. I mean, you're at home. And
I think Chad might still lose his mind
yes.
being on that defensive line with the rest of these defensive guys. But yeah, that's just unnecessary and uncalled for as if you're a defender on this line right now.
1st down and 10. The clock stops with that penalty, which is huge. 3 wide receivers set. It's going to be a stretch play. Jerry Willis. There's a penalty down. Willis past the 40 to the 36-yard line. I think that's going to be a holding call, Nate, and this is coming back.
Yeah, I believe you're right. For that, if it's not a hold, it'd be the biggest run by Willis on the day, and it's going to be a chop block, so a bigger penalty than just a hold, as it's going to be a clipping, a block in the back, going to be called on Shea Carroll, the wide receiver. So that's a big backbreaker, no pun intended, for this offense for Jacksonville.
Yeah, an illegal block in the back, which is, common to see on those kind of stretch plays going to the outside. You have wide receivers trying to do also some kind of zone blocking, and instead of catching the chest of the defensive back, they block him from the back. And that's why Jared Willis had all that space to run. 1st and 21 this time. This is going to be a pass to Jack Wall inside. It's going to be 2nd and 12. And the clock's going to keep on ticking. You know, for Jacksonville, you know, 2nd and 12, you can throw the ball inside, short again, and depending on the outcome, you may think of calling a timeout or you know, doing some kind of hurry up.
I think it depends on, like you said, the outcome of this play to see what they do next on the following.
2nd and 12. Dunhill to throw. Dunhill goes to the outside. He's left away and almost intercepted. Almost picked off. That was right there. Number 27. That's the strong safety, Rain Rie, the former King player. Anthony Wyatt was also lurking. 3rd and 12. And this is now the opportunity for Jacksonville. If they can get a good play on defense, whether that's a sack or maybe even a takeaway, they will have a chance to score before the end of the first half. And I meant the London Knights defense. Pass goes deep, and the pass is caught! Caught by Willis! To the 39-yard line, and Jacksonville will call the timeout. 1 minute and 14 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Right there on the fringe to field goal range. What a pass, 50-50 ball.
Yeah, 50-50 ball indeed, as Marcus Dunhill finds Grayson Willis on the left side. Looks like Tanner Hendricks might have had a beat on that ball, might have had a chance to come away with that interception, but nonetheless, Willis with a great, fantastic catch get a first down. And we'll have to see if that Rain Rie missed opportunity at a pick six comes back to bite him, depending on the outcome of this drive.
Look for the quick slants here. To throw. No, it's going to be a dump off to the outside. Willis with a couple spin moves.
Whoa.
Willis gets the first down and gets... Oh, well, he's not ruled out of bounds. I thought he got out of bounds. He's ruled in bounds. The clock keeps on ticking, and the Jacksonville Kings will go in the no huddle. Dunhill gets the snap. Dunhill will go deep, and Dunhill is intercepted. No. Picked off on the play by Blackman. Man, I don't love it, Nate. You have more than enough time with 2 timeouts. There was no need for that.
Yeah, trying to force the ball that time to the wide receiver, Shea Carroll, on that corner pattern. The coverage was there, obviously, and Emmanuel Blackman able to step in front of that pass by Marcus Dunhill. I would have loved to see him maybe try to go for a different option there on that play.
I think we're going to see a couple of runs here or dump off passes to Robert Merrill in the half, depending on how this goes. Breaks a tackle, though. Robert Merrill breaks another tackle past the 35, the midfield, to the 40, to the 35, past the 30, breaks another tackle. Robert Merrill to the 7-yard line.
Well, I thought he had an opportunity to go all the way, but nonetheless, Robert Merrill breaking tackles, outrunning almost the entire Jacksonville defense. Number 27, Bernard Gooden, couldn't bring him down, and it wasn't until finally number 20, Greg Gaines, goes all the way down at the 7-yard line and catches Robert Merrill by the ankles to bring him down right at the 7-yard line. Finally, for a huge gain on that play. We're going to call that a gain of... Well, we'll see here after this play.
Johnny Pickler goes to the end zone. Good call by Johnny Pickler going to the end zone. That was a free play as the Jacksonville defense jumped off sides. Wow, so much for sitting on the ball, Nate.
Yeah, definitely.
So much for running the ball a couple times going to the half. That was probably Robert Merrill's best run of his career. Like the former wide receiver, moving to halfback, hasn't been involved much as a running threat throughout the years. But an unreal run by Robert Merrill. Had that been for a touchdown, that was probably the best play of the year.
Yeah, definitely a huge run on that play. 70 yards officially on that run, thanks to our stat guys of Eddie Gage and Zach Caldor to give us that stat line.
Robert gets planted at the 2-yard line. 1-on-1. Defender wins the battle. 2nd down.
Yeah, 2nd and goal coming up here for London, trying to capitalize off that big 70-yard run by Merrill, trying to get more points and maybe even try to make this a 3-score game right before the half here.
They're trying to scrape the jersey out of the grass here in Queensway as he got absolutely flattened. 2nd and goal. Now, Robert Merrill looks a little bit tired here, Nate. Let's see if he can punch it in. Can he be in some space? Merrill gets the catch. Robert Merrill makes a spin move and gets in the end zone. Touchdown, Knights. He deserved it, Nate. That was Robert Merrill's drive.
Yes, it was. He deserved all the credit for that touchdown. And after he caught that pass from Pickler out in the flat, he did everything in his power. Made a spin move right there, made a defender miss, did a little juke move to the left, found his way in the end zone. 6 points after that 70-yard run that set them up in perfect scoring range to get a 3-score lead going into the half here.
This has to be just so disheartening for the Jacksonville Kings. You know, they had that drive that was looking pretty good. You know, at least 3 points were on the back, but Justin Blackmon gets the interception, and the London Knights get at least a 10-point swing. 24-7, the home team leads. 24 seconds left, though, Nate. You know, still, you know, with 2 explosive offenses, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. 24 seconds. Jacksonville has 2 timeouts left. Definitely want to see Jacksonville be aggressive here on this next drive. Good clock management, definitely a key here to try to bring this within a 2-score game going into the halftime break.
The return goes by Zachary Patton past the 25 to the 26-yard line. 20 seconds left. And let's see if Marcus Dunhill tries to go deep again, or if they will go and sit on the ball, take it to the half. You know, maybe run the ball with Jared Willis, see if he can get the explosive play that Robert Merrill got. We'll see. 1st and 10. 2 tight end set this time. Under center is Marcus Dunhill. He will pass. The pass is going to be caught for a pickup of 7 yards, and doing some no huddle is the Jacksonville Kings offense. We'll snap it again. Willis to the outside. Jared Willis will be stopped for a pickup of short gain, and the Jacksonville Kings will call a timeout.
So we'll see if they at least run one more deep play after calling this timeout with 3 seconds left. Trying to get maybe a Hail Mary formation going on this final play before halftime.
So, I'm not sure if Marcus Dunhill has the arm to make it 60 yards, but no, he's not going to try it either. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 39. They will throw the pass to the outside, knocked away, almost picked off. Still 1 second left in the play clock here as Tony Roberto makes the knock away. 2nd and 10, 1 second.
That was a really dangerous pass by Dunhill.
Really?
Could have been 6 points the other way for London. So definitely sigh a breath of relief there for for Jacksonville's offense.
Jacksonville is not a team that goes with 5 wide receivers, really. This time they go with 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers spread out. They will throw. Dunhill to the inside is caught for a modest gain of 15 yards as Shea Carroll gets the catch. And that's going to be the end of the first half. The London Knights, first playoff game in Queensway, absolutely dominating. Nate, we've seen explosive offense here for the London Knights. We've seen a defense that came to life here in the 2nd quarter with the interception of Blackmon. And it's been all London.
It really has been all London ever since that the swing there in the 2nd quarter. The turnovers thrown by Dunhill in the first half. As we take a look at some of these replays, definitely a struggle so far for this Jacksonville offense here in the first half. London's defense came to play today. As we take a look at some of these interceptions that were thrown by Marcus Dunhill, and Johnny Pickler's been airing it out. And we knew that was going to be one of the biggest keys in today's game is if London and Johnny Pickler was going to be able to take care of the ball, and Pickler was going to be able to find his wide receivers and be able to score points. And so far, they've been able to do both of those things. So far, London on the plus side of the turnover battle at +1, and Johnny Pickler has thrown 3 touchdown passes in the game compared to only 1 touchdown pass by Marcus Dunhill compared to his 2 interceptions. So that's really the difference in the game. In a game that we thought, Jacksonville's defense might have been a bigger storyline than London's defense, but it's kind of flipped the script a little bit as far as defense goes.
The Jacksonville Kings scored close to 27 points per game, and the London Knights allowed 30 points per game this season. 7 for the visiting team in the first 22 minutes of play. We'll be right back from Queensway. You're watching the SFL playoffs presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. We're gonna go to SFL Studios for a game break.
Welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report with London up 24-7 over Jacksonville. He's Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. And, Mike, your thoughts on a first half that looked like Jacksonville was going to go down and make it a 3-point game just before the half, and then everything changed.
Oh, yeah, Cam, definitely everything changed right there on that one particular possession. But just to go back to the start of the game, both teams kind of, got off to a slow start, kind of nervous, I guess, from both quarterbacks turning it over on the first possession. But then as we proceeded through the game in that first half, Emmanuel Blackman came through the huge interception right there. And then it basically looked like London was going to just concede and run out the clock. And then Robert Merrill, who's been a monster over the past 3 weeks, came through with a huge run. And London finds themselves up by 17.
These are the type of things, Mike, that make differences in playoff wins and losses. That Robert Merrill run, we didn't mention the running backs in pregame. Both are, bottom of the league in terms of yards per carry and carries and yards and every stat out there. But that one play, getting London in scoring position, that could end up being the difference in this game.
Quite possibly, Cam. But I did kind of mention Robert in the pregame. His close to 300 yards rushing in the last 3 games of the regular season has been a huge difference as to why London has been able to do the things that they've been able to do, which one is control the clock with the running game and not have, Johnny Pickler drop back virtually every play of the game and put, the team in peril with possible turnover situations. So he's been huge for London. For Jacksonville, I would like to see more of Jared Willis on the ground. I know they like to get him involved in the passing game, but key to them getting back in this game is going to be what Jared Willis can possibly do on the ground. As we saw in the one play there on that huge drive right before halftime, that he had a huge run, but called back because of a clipping penalty. Right. But Jared Willis is going to get going on the ground if Jacksonville wants to get back into this game.
That was a crazy last 2 minutes. We had 3 different penalties. We had the big run from Merrill. It was wild, and London took advantage. They now lead 24-7. Well, Mike, we have hundreds of players in the major league, but we also have over 100 players in the minor league. This class is already bigger than last season's class, and we've got still 2 months before the next SFL rookie draft that gets players onto new teams. Last night was opening night of the SFL minor league. We start with a couple of blowouts. At the top, San Jose dominated Albuquerque 44-13 in the Adams return to the league. Listen to this name, Mike. Jordan Sipe, 32 of 44, 403 yards, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He hit 5 different receivers for touchdowns, including Jay Viper, who's pictured there taunting Albuquerque in that 31-point blowout. It's the minor league is fun because you learn all these new names, Mike, that we didn't know before. Here's another one for you. Darius Hawkins, the defensive end in his first SFL competitive game, gets a 67-yard pick six as a defensive end. He was rumbling, Mike, and Tacoma rumbled to a 49-24 win.
Well, let's just start with Jordan Sipe, Cam. What a debut. I mean, you can't, ask for anything better than a 6-touchdown, 0 interception game and to go to over 400 yards on top, to boot with that. And then, wow, a defensive lineman with a pick six and to run that sort of a distance, that's just amazing and a great debut for anybody. I'm pretty sure he was pretty excited about that as well.
In the second block of games, we saw Annapolis run roughshed over Madison 29-13. Ottawa came back and held on to beat Lincoln 20-13 in a defensive battle. Couple more names. Tyson Burns, a 100-yard game for Ottawa. Kai Avery III with a kickoff return. That's big, Mike. It's tough to get really good kick returners in this league. Leo Morris, Doug Britton, some of the best. Annapolis had Randy Squarebush on the 2-way contract, and he was eating last night. But Mike, you played for Lincoln back in the day in the minors. What was your minor league experience like? Because it was pretty unusual.
Well, Cam, don't give me to the wrong alma mater. I was Albuquerque Adam.
Oh, my mistake. I'm thinking of Mike All, then another good friend of the show. But anyway, back to Albuquerque, Mike, on your minor league journey.
Man, Cam, being that you forgot who I played with, I mean, it was not a great a great time in the minor leagues for MSG, but I had the honor, Cam, of playing quarterback for the Albuquerque Adams, and I remember my first game. It was the first game ever of the minor leagues because the minor leagues had just started. It was the first time ever the minor leagues were implemented the season that I was there. Had the honor of throwing the first touchdown pass in minor league history with Albuquerque. So what I remember the most, Cam, is just being it was the first time and the first game. And if you would look on YouTube right now, I still think it's one of the highest viewed games in YouTube.
That's why, because y'all played Lincoln in that
we played
game.
Lincoln. Yeah, we played
the big debut.
Yeah, we played Lincoln in that game, and man, I remember all the hype around it, and just sitting there watching it. It was, man, the nerves that kicked in, but it was great. It was a great experience. Of course, I think I threw 5 interceptions that day to go along with the 1 touchdown pass, but it was a great experience, and And that's why I'm a wide receiver today, Cam. I mean,
I was just going to say
the
picks.
The league didn't believe in me, so hey, I'm a wide receiver now. And but yeah, great time, great experience, and I hope all the guys in the minors that had a chance to get on the field for the first time last night, I'm pretty sure they were excited, and I hope they enjoyed every minute of it.
Makes it all that more impressive that Jordan Sipe had 6 touchdowns last night and no interceptions in his debut. Lots going on around the SFL this time of year, Mike. It's always one of the busiest times of our calendar, and a bunch of news and notes coming out of teams that aren't in the playoffs this week. For St. Louis, they're relocating to Detroit. They spent 11 seasons in St. Louis, went 46-89 in their time, Mike, but 3 playoff appearances in the last 4 years. Drew Riley and company, Eagle Mondavi and others have really helped St. Louis's ownership group, Dwayne Schindler, Colin Northrup, the original ownership group, that is, really kind of turn things around and rebuild the culture over there. It's going to be interesting to see what the team looks like in Detroit. Colin Northrup and family are from Michigan, and they're trying to localize their squad as we move into our 19th season, our 10th year of operation as the SFL.
Yeah, Cam. I know they're doing what's best for them and their franchise. I'm really going to miss seeing the St. Louis Gladiators on the field. They were actually we were just talking about the minor leagues. I was in serious talks with them about possibly drafting me a quarterback way back when a few seasons ago. But going to hate to see them go. But I'm very excited to see what the possibilities are with these guys moving to Detroit.
Denver's got Vasquez as their president. Javier Vasquez gets a promotion, and Mike, there, I think Denver anticipating that Adam Wiseman's going to win his bid along with Chad Rowland in Indianapolis for expansion, which we'll get to in a second. But Vasquez has been with Ottawa in the minor leagues for 5 consecutive seasons. He's really done a nice job with them. They got a win last night against Lincoln, and this guy has been here for years, and now he gets an opportunity to really shape Denver in his image.
Yeah, great opportunity there for Vasquez to come in and see how he can build that coaching staff and in the front office over there. He's going to have huge shoes to fill with Adam Wiseman, possibly, as you mentioned, going with Indianapolis in the expansion bid. So Denver did make huge strides this year from the season before when they, had the rookies come in and a lot of guys that they were trying to replace. They made huge strides, just missed the playoffs by 1 game there at the end. But we'll look to see how he's going to build that front office. Interesting
one, Tom Welsh getting the head coaching job in Queen City. And, Welsh has some OC experience, but this is a Queen City team that's trying to get back their winning ways, Mike. They've missed the playoffs 4 of the last 6 seasons after making the playoffs 8 consecutive seasons. And, I know that their leadership over there wants to win and wants to win bad. And maybe Tom Welsh is the guy to do it over there. It's always sometimes always good to get some fresh eyes on things, Mike.
Yeah, they've had a couple of departures over there already, and they're also probably anticipating some departures in expansion as well. Right. So they're getting ahead of that ball game and getting in and saying, identifying who we want as our head coach moving forward. So and maybe get back on track to where they were the season before when they had a breakout season, unexpected breakout season last season, and kind of took a step back this season. So we'll see if Tom Welsh can get things back on track over there for Queen City.
League going to 28 teams, too. You'll see 4 new teams here on Next Level Sports for next season and seasons beyond. And it's going to be interesting, Mike. Voting going on right now between the teams trying to decide. They've done a ton of due diligence, a ton of interviews, talking with these bids, talking with these candidates. In some cases, Mike, people have been waiting for years at an opportunity to own their own franchise, and it's always an exciting time.
Yeah, Cam, as you know, I've had the opportunity to see all 10 bids, and I'll tell you this, it's some great bids out there. Some guys have done a great job with why they should be an expansion team and considered by the SFL and the ownership's group as to why they should be voted in. One thing I will tell you is that someone very, very deserving is probably going to be on the outside looking in saying, I'm not, they did a great job. I felt like I did a great job, and which they did, but, it's only 4 slots, and someone's going to come up short. But I guarantee you, it's going to be someone that's very, very deserving. That's not going to get a bid this time around.
24-7. London leads Jacksonville at the half. And Mike and I will be back here to wrap things up in post-game. But until then, Ramos Lynn and Nate Hall, it appears my dog is moving in the background and making some kind of bizarre television appearance. But no matter. Jacksonville trailing by 17, but they do get the ball to start the second half. Ramos and Nate have the call from Queensway when we come back from commercial break. This has been the APM Music Halftime Report. We'll be right back. You're watching the SFL on NXT.
Here in Queensway, 24-7, the London Knights lead the Jacksonville Kings, and Jacksonville is going to get the football first. At the 5-yard line, the return by Zachary Patton goes past the 25, and, well, they were just going to make it at the 25-yard line. Nate, first half, all London, but Jacksonville with a chance with the football first to get momentum here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they really need to get something going here early in this second half after... As they mentioned in the halftime show, looked like Jacksonville was going to pull it within 3 late in the first half stages, but a 14-point swing kind of swung it the way of London late in that first half, and Jackson really needs to get something going quickly.
4 wide receiver set. Dunghill passes the ball inside, is knocked away and incomplete, almost picked off again. As it's going to be a second down and 10 yards to go. The London Knights defense, especially against the pass, has been pretty outstanding. Marcus Dunhill has a pretty high completion rate, but he is only averaging 5 yards per pass attempt, 2 picks, and a quarterback rating hovering around 70 points.
And he definitely wants to get that rating up sooner rather than later as he starts off this second and 10 play.
A squats play, formation here rather. Dunhill pass inside is going to be caught this time, as Shea Carroll has a first down for the Kings offense.
And that 12-yard gain will definitely help out his average as far as yards per reception goes. Carroll coming away with a nice play, nice catch over the middle to set up another a first down early in this possession.
First and 10, ball at the 37-yard line. 3-2 defense here for the Knights. Dunhill will throw the pass to the outside. Is knocked away and almost picked off. As Tanner Hendricks was also trying to get the football, but ran out of room and ran over his teammate. Second down.
And it looked like they were trying to go towards that sideline route to Grayson Willis, but Tanner Hendricks just undercut that route. And had he come up with that one, nothing but green grass in front of him, I would say that was at least the third or fourth pick six opportunity London's had in this ball game. And each time, Marcus Dunhill has dodged bullets on each one of those attempts.
Yeah, Rainer Rie was the guy with the pass deflection, and if he catches the ball and is able to stay in bounds, that's a pick 6. 2nd down and 10, ball at the 37-yard line here. Look for the probably stretch play. We saw the stretch play out of this formation here for the Kings offense. This is going to be a pass, though, that goes to the outside. That's going to be Jared Willis, and he cannot make a guy miss as Justin Blackman continues to play really strong football, 3rd and long.
Yeah, good open field tackle out there in the flats. Just nowhere to go for Jared Willis. Even tried to make a miss out there in the open field with a spin move, but staying disciplined is that defense for London, and nowhere to go, only a 2-yard gain.
3rd down and 8, 4 wide receiver set. Dunhill passes inside, the pass is picked off! Picked up by Tyler Hendricks, and he's returning it past the 40 to the 37-yard line. This defense has played unreal football so far here, Nate.
They really have, and that is going to be Tanner Hendricks, as you said, with the interception. Just a good job of Tanner just to jump in front of that one and pick that one off. And early unfortunate turnover and mishap for Marcus Dunhill on their first possession of the 3rd quarter, and now amazing field position for Pickler to work with as they come out on their first possession of the 2nd half.
This is going to go to Robert Merrill for sure. And it's going to be on the swing pass. Robert Merrill, he will not break a tackle. Good job right there by Martin on the stop. It's going to be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, out there in the flats again is Merrill for a 2-yard gain, but already within sniffing distance of that field goal range for JT Delaney as they come out here with a 2nd and 8 situation.
Look for the out route here to Tyrese Bovine. To pass, Johnny Pickler passes to the outside. That's the out route. Bovine out of bounds at the 22. Good play by Johnny Pickler, on time and on target.
Yeah, and Bovine just found himself wide open on that right side as he went towards the sidelines. No Jacksonville defenders as he went on that out route for a big gain all the way down to just around the 22-yard line.
1st down and 10, ball at the 22-yard line. Jacksonville in desperate need of stopping this bleeding as the London Knights have a chance to go up by 24 points, which could spell the end of the game. I mean, still early, but the way the London Knights defense has played, it looks pretty daunting. This is going to be a 1st down and 10. The pass will go to Robert Merrill one more time, past the 20-yard line, breaks a tackle. Robert Merrill to the 14 is going to make it a 2nd and very short.
And if Robert Merrill continues to find himself that wide open out there in the flats, that could be trouble for Jacksonville's defense, because Merrill got himself at least 5 or 6 yards before he was even touched, and even then he got a spin around that defender and got another 2 or 3 yards before he got tackled.
2nd down and 2 yards to go. 12 personnel. Johnny Pickler will throw the pass inside. Mike St. Green has it for a 1st and goal. London to the 5-yard line. Stuart Somalia makes the stop, but it's another 1st down for the Knights offense.
And we saw points off turnover on that first interception thrown by Dunhill, and now London with themselves right there within the scoring range at the 5-yard line, looking to do the same on their first drive of the 2nd half.
To pass the ball is going to be Johnny Pickler. Robert Merrill has it. Merrill cannot get to the end zone. A good stop right there by Gooden. Bernard Gooden makes the touchdown saving tackle. It's going to be 2nd goal at the 1.
Ooh, and maybe Merrill a little woozy getting up there after that big hit from Gooden, but good to see him get up after that hit. But a 4-yard gain down to the 1. Let's see if they just try to hand it off here.
2 tight end set. There's going to be a handoff. Merrill on the outside. Touchdown, London. Robert Merrill's 2nd touchdown of the game, and the Knights are absolutely dominating this matchup.
Yeah, first drive of the 2nd half and finding themselves in the end zone once again is Robert Merrill. As you said, with his 2nd touchdown of today, after getting the one through the air early, late in the first half, there in the 2nd quarter, but finding himself this time with his first touchdown on the ground with a nice handoff off to the left-hand side. 6 more points, and as you said, starting to run away with this one early in the 3rd quarter.
JT Delaney will put the ball between the uprights. It's in the net. And 31-7, London leads. You know, never say never, Nate. Still early in the third quarter, but it's obviously the situation where Jacksonville has to score in this drive, and they need to score a touchdown. A field goal is no good for them.
Right, and Marcus Dunhill has to start taking care of this football. Can no longer afford throwing any more interceptions as the second half continues.
This one being returned past the 20, past the 25-yard line. Decent return to the 26. The SFL has partnered with Laser to deliver digital SFL player trading cards to its players and viewers, debuting today during the Mexico City Charleston wildcard game on SFL Twitch. Viewers every 30 minutes will be issued one of 18 trading cards you can buy, or you can buy the entire pack through Laser Store. Visit Laser, that's LAYZR.GG, and click the Join Alpha button to connect your Twitch account and begin collecting. This run will go to the halfback, that's Willis, for a pickup of 7 yards through the far side. And it's going to be 2nd down and 4.
And one of the better runs we've seen from Willis today is he's been bottled up for most of this game so far, but a nice handoff to the right-hand side. Willis doing a good job of being patient off that side of the ball, and a nice gain of 6 on the play, setting up a 2nd and 4.
The game after this one, Samurai HCS, is Mexico City and Charleston, going at about 45 minutes time from right now, approximately. 1st down and 10 here after Jack Wall catches this football. And it's going to be a 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville Kings offense, best player of the game so far has been definitely Jack Wall. Him and probably Shea Carroll, as Marcus Dunhill has had his struggles. Dunhill will pass the ball inside. That's a good throw, though, to Grayson Willis for a 1st down, moving the chains to the 46.
There was, if you said there was a trio of receivers that's been helping Marcus Dunhill out today, it would probably be Willis, Carroll, and Wall, as all 3 of them have went over 30 yards now with that catch. Now Willis goes over 40 on 4 catches, but a nice catch and a nice reception by Willis over the middle there.
1st down and 10, ball at 46 as Marcus Dunhill changed the play at the line. Probably a quick out. No, it's going to be the deep corner route, and the pass is going to be ruled a catch by Willis. I will challenge this one, Nate. I think he was out of bounds. What do you think?
We'll have to see if London calls a challenge on this one. I'm not 100% sure either if he got a foot in bounds on that catch or not. It was really close to the sidelines, but looks like London's going to keep that red flag in their pockets, give him a 1st down, and a nice play for Jacksonville in the long run.
I mean, leading by 24, you're in no rush as Willis will get the catch, makes a spin move, gets 4 yards on the play. It was definitely close. The referee, of course, had a better look than me up here in the booth, and it's going to be 2nd and 5. You know, this Jacksonville Kings offense moving the ball again pretty well here in the midway through the 3rd quarter. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. Really need to put the ball in the end zone here on this drive. 4-3 defense for the Knights offense. For the Knights defense, excuse me. The pass. Dunhill. The pass is going to be caught. Willis will go nowhere, as a couple of Knights, including Chad Rowland and Telemark Scarborough, make the stop at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and Chad Rowland finding his 1st tackle of the day right there on that tackle of Willis on that screen route.
4 wideouts on this one for Dunhill. The pass. Dunhill passes to the outside. That's caught. For a 1st down is Shea Carroll up to the 18-yard line. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 sports promotions, plus features from our content team, including Swamp Talk, Power Rankings, and many more feature series. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, and the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. Simulationfl.net, your home for everything SFL. 1st down and 10, ball at the 18-yard line. 2 tight ends set. And Marcus Dunhill is under center. He will throw. The pass is going to be caught. Steal on the quick slant. It's going to be a pickup of 8 yards and the Jacksonville Kings are inside the 10.
Yeah, 2nd and 2 from the 90-yard line, we'll call it, after a nice inside catch there by Talon Steele. And Dunhill, we've seen Dunhill struggle from inside this range before. Let's see if he can actually capitalize this time.
Handoff. Willis gets the first down. 1st and goal here for the Jacksonville offense as they are moving the ball really well on this drive. It's going to be a combination, I think, of Jared Willis here on 1st and goal and probably on 2nd and 3rd goal, trying to go to the end zone through the air, Nate, as they have been pretty balanced. I expect that balance to continue. They're going in a shotgun here. It will go in the shotgun. Look for Grayson Willis, bottom of your screen. To pass. Pump fakes. The pass is going to be incomplete. Jared Willis drops that one.
Yeah, I think Jared Willis was more focused on, trying to run with the ball before he actually saw the ball into his hands. Looked like he might have turned before he caught it. Unfortunate, it just bounced off his hands and incomplete.
2nd and goal. Ball at the 7-yard line. Maybe Jared Willis here on the swing.
Looks like
Pass.
It might be. Yep.
There it is. Jared Willis tries to make a spin move, and Tanner Hendricks puts him down for a short gain of 3 yards. Dunhill up to 228 on the game. 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Johnny Pickler the opposite. 3 touchdowns and just 1 interception has been the difference in this game, really. 3rd and goal.
Yeah, big 3rd down coming up for Dunhill and company, trying to get this ball in the end zone.
3rd and goal. Ball at the 4-yard line. Dunhill to throw. Dunhill to the end zone. Is caught for a touchdown.
Wow.
Grayson Willis gets it. And the Jacksonville Kings are not dead yet.
And Marcus Dunhill with an absolute bullet right over the middle to Grayson Willis. Willis had to go down, dive down there in the back of the end zone to get it before it hit the ground. But it helps his quarterback out by digging it out, going down there and getting it. 6 points, and right back in this ball game is Jacksonville. Not out of it yet by any stretch of the imagination, as they come within 18 points, pinning this extra point.
The kick is going to be up and good. That's the extra point. 31-14. We'll take a quick commercial break. You're watching the SFL playoffs presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. We'll be right back. Back here in Queensway, London, England, the United Kingdom. Side of the start of the SFL playoffs is the SFL wildcard round presented by APM Music. We're gonna have another little return here by Fox Highwind past the 22 to 21 yard line, not too far that time. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. 4 wide receivers this time. Offset is Robert Merrill. The pass to the outside goes to Merrill, and he has some space past the 25-yard line to the 28. Goes to it's going to make it a second down and short, 2nd and 2. Merrill has been really productive in this game, Nate, both on the ground and on the air.
Yeah, he has been really productive, but that amounts to a lot of that has to do with his 70-yard run he had towards the end of that first half. He has 66 yards total on the ground, but he also has 38 yards through the receiving end as well, so very productive day for him overall.
Yeah, also a couple of touchdowns as Robert Merrill will get stuffed that time by Mike All and company. It's going to be 3rd and 6. It is not going to be an issue, it has not been an issue, London, converting on those kinds of 3rd downs, as their 3rd down efficiency so far, 2 of 3 total. They have not had too many opportunities to do it, but 66% nonetheless.
And a big 3rd down for this Jacksonville defense.
The pass inside, caught. Fox Highwind gets 15 yards to the 40-yard line, moves the chains. Fox Highwind, a player who was a number 1 with the Aztecs last season, is a number 3 here with London, which just tells you how deep this wide receiving core is.
Yeah, and a nice gain on that play on the inside pattern by Fox Highwind, knowing where the first down marker was and getting way past it. A nice first down catch for Highwind from Pickler, and moving the sticks and keeping possession of the ball and moving the clock as well in late stages of 3rd quarter.
London, the 40-yard line already. As Robert Merrill dodged this offset eye. Pickler is under center. And he will hand the ball off to Merrill. Goes to the outside, has some space. Robert Merrill past midfield, and just to midfield actually, will pick up a 1st down. The tackle made right there by number 52. That's Garrett Hudson at outside linebacker, but another move of the chains.
Yeah, and watch out as we enter into the late stages of this game. If Robert Merrill starts to really find his groove on the ground game, it could really spell trouble for this defense for Jacksonville, not only because of him gaining yards, but also because they could run out of time as far as time of possession for their offense.
1st and 10, ball at midfield. The pass. Pickler gets hit as he throws the football, and it's incomplete, falls to the ground as big Buster Johnson makes the hit. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Buster Johnson, all 6'1", 325 of them. The rookie 2nd-round pick out of San Jose, barreling down on Johnny Pickler, just nailed him as he let go of that ball. Luckily for Pickler, it just falls to the turf incomplete, but that had to hurt.
2nd down and 10. They may just want to go back to the run here on 2nd down and 10. That they will. Johnny Pickler hands the ball to the outside. Merrill goes absolutely nowhere again as Mike Hall gets another TFL alongside. That was, I think, J.R. Lawless. Yes, at linebacker. That's J.R. Lawless' 2nd tackle for loss as well of the game. 3rd and very long. London 75% so far on 3rd down, 3 of 4. Look for Mike St. Green here. He's had the most explosive play on offense, at least passing-wise, for the Knights. To throw, the pass is going to go to Vincali, and the pass is knocked away. Incomplete. A great job right there by Connor Darien, one-on-one coverage, and the Jacksonville Kings get a stop.
Yeah, and they really need that stop on defense. Connor Darien with perfect position right in front of that wide receiver as they went out. Pickler tried to look for that completion on the left side, and Darien right in front of that receiver getting a hand up for that pass deflection.
Huge stop by the Kings defense as Peter McLongfellow will punt this one away. And this looks like a decent one. Being fielded by Patton and returned to the 20-yard line. That's where the Jacksonville Kings offense will set up shop. Now, the Jacksonville Kings last drive It was a really, really good one. Obviously ended up in a touchdown. And I think they probably saw something right there, Nate, that they could take advantage of. 12 plays, 69 yards on the last drive.
Yeah, they probably took note of that as well over on the sidelines and got the coaches to take note of that as well. So we'll see if they can go back to that on this next possession.
That pass is going to be caught by Shea Carroll. It's going to be a pickup of about 9.5 yards. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter of play. London 31, Jacksonville 14, but this is far from over. You're watching the SFL playoffs presented by 8 PM Music on Next Level Sports. We'll be right back. Back in Queensway, 31-14. Put your force up, everybody. Your 86 is up. Is 11 more minutes of game time here in London, England. Tiberius Bovine, by the way, jumped Ken Gossett for 4th all-time in receptions. He's still number 2 in yards and has crossed 13,000 for his career. So congratulations to the Hall of Famers. Jared Willis picks up a first down on the ground.
Yeah, he only needed a half a yard to move the sticks, got exactly what he needed to move those chains, and plus another yard beyond that. So a nice gain of 1.5 yards for Willis after he's been struggling today, but just enough to move the chains in a first down.
4 wide receiver set here for the Kings offense. To throw, it's going to be Dunhill. The pass inside is going to be caught. That's Grayson Willis for a first down to the 43-yard line, and the Jacksonville Kings offense moves the chains one more time.
And Willis, the leading receiver for this offense for Jacksonville, now with 7 receptions, up over 70 yards now on the day for him. So quietly having himself a good day for this Jacksonville offense, up to 78 officially, but a nice catch over there across the middle.
1st and 10, ball at the 43-yard line. It's going to be 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends on the far side. It's going to be a pass. That's going to be caught. That's Shea Carroll again for a first down to the 41-yard line. A good throw right there by Marcus Dunhill. And the Jacksonville Kings are close from scoring position.
And Carroll, you go to Willis on one side and you go to Carroll on the other. It's a nice 1-2 punch, 2 plays in a row for 2 straight first downs.
3 wide receiver set one more time. Dunhill to throw. Dunhill to pass inside. It's going to be caught. Kingston Ellington gets 8 yards and puts the ball at the 33-yard line. Really good drive here by Jacksonville with some quick passes. This is a situation where if they move the ball quickly, a field goal is not the worst thing because you need it either way. It's a 17-point game. So really need to put the ball in the end zone or on the net, either way here on this drive to keep your winning hopes alive. 2nd and 2.
Quick note, that's Kingston Ellington's first catch of the game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, he's been absolutely quiet as Jared Willis gets the ball on the outside. A good job by Blackman limiting that one to only a 5-yard pickup. It's going to be first down at the 29-yard line. And Nate, you know, Jacksonville showing really good offense here in the last 10 minutes or so of the first half.
Really spreading the ball around, and I like what I'm seeing out of this Jacksonville offense. Really spreading the ball around to every tight end and wide receiver that Dunhill can find right now.
And that's Grayson Willis with another catch. A 4-yard pickup, gets out of bounds to stop the clock in the meantime. 2nd and 5 at the 24. I will not be surprised if Marcus Dunhill tries to go deep to the end zone at least one time, probably on this play. You know, they've thrown the ball short, and I think it's time for a deep shot.
Maybe even throw in a play action here as well to off that play action to throw deep here in the situation.
2nd and 5, the ball at the 24 is going to be a handoff to Jerry Willis. Goes to the outside, makes a spin move, and gets 3 yards on the play. Make it a 3rd and very manageable 2 yards at the 20. So this play is going to tell a lot. If they run the ball here, Nate, they may want to also go for it on 4th down if they don't make it. If they pass the ball and they don't make it, they may just put the field goal unit. 2 tight ends set again, so same formation. It's going to be another handoff. Willis will get the first down, barely. About 2.5 yards, moves the chains.
Yeah, tough running by Willis to get the yardage he needed for the first down. Able to get past Buster Johnson to fall forward and get that first down yardage he needed.
And this is where we may see also a little bit of a no-huddle offense starting from this play, depending on what they do and what's the outcome of the play. Because you need 3 scores, and you only have 7.5 minutes to do so. It's going to be a pass. Dunhill throws it to Willis. Willis, spin move, not successful, gets only 3 yards, and they're just going to huddle back again. I think Jacksonville is losing a little bit of time here, Nate, more than they want to lose.
I know London fans won't want me to bring this up, but we've seen it happen before where maybe they will want me to bring it up, but nonetheless, we've seen a lot of points scored in the final 5 minutes of this ball game. So it can definitely happen.
Yeah, it can definitely happen. The pass goes outside to Zachary Patton, but that's ruling complete. I think his left foot was out of bounds just as... well, it's going to be challenged. Yeah, I think that just part of the foot was out of bounds.
I didn't get a good look at that. I couldn't tell if his left foot was inbounds or out, but we'll see right here as looks like that was number 10 Zachary Patton. Oh yeah, his left foot was out of bounds. I think this is a bad challenge for sure, so they're going to lose a timeout here.
Which is crucial here, you know, considering the fact that you are down 3 scores and you want as much time as possible. Losing this timeout is not very good. His heel was out of bounds. The front of, you know, his toes were in bounds, but the heel was out of bounds. 3rd and 7 coming up. Under center is Dunhill. Dunhill will throw. The pass inside. Patton gets to the first down marker to the 5-yard line, moves the chains. And it looks like London is more than nothing protecting the end zone, Nate. You know, they're allowing those quick inside routes and everything because the clock keeps on ticking.
Yeah, and that's the main thing for London right now. They don't mind giving up these plays, short yardage plays to Jacksonville, but it's more about the time ticking off the clock for them.
A handoff to Willis goes nowhere right there. It's going to be a loss of 3 yards as the Jacksonville Kings are just milking this clock without wanting to. Man, the guard just got destroyed.
Yeah, a big tackle for loss right there by Cam Frosby on the inside on Jared Willis. Big loss on that play.
Jacksonville's current drive, 13 plays, 70 yards. and has spanned about 7 minutes of play. More like 6 minutes of play. To throw. Dunhill outside. The pass caught. Carroll. Touchdown. Jacksonville.
Oh, man. Did Jacksonville need that in the worst way to stop the clock from going down any further? But nice pass from Dunhill. Finding Carroll on the out route. And don't look now, but pinning this extra point by Jordan Bradshaw, we could be within a 10-score game here in the midway point through the fourth quarter.
All of a sudden, Jacksonville leading the stat sheet in total yards. The thing that counts the most is the scoreboard. London still leading by 10 after this extra point. 31-21. There's no need of doing an onside kick, of course. You know, you can just kick the ball deep and play some defense. This defense by Jacksonville, really good in the second half. Only allowed 7 points so far in the second half of play.
And what would really help Jacksonville out right now is a turnover. We haven't seen very many turnovers by Jacksonville in this ball game. Just that one early on pick by Connor Darien off of Pickler in that first quarter. But they need to start getting these turnovers if they want to have a chance.
Fox Highwind will return this one to the 28-yard line, and this is where London will set up shop. You know, if I'm London, I'm at least on first and second down, Nate, running the football. Then on third down, depending on the situation, you decide what to choose. But the important thing for London is keeping the ball on the ground, keeping the ball taken, and not forcing anything. They will go in the shotgun, though. They will go with a 4 wide receiver set. Ball at 28-yard line. Pickler to throw. Pickler, the pass outside. Good throw. Fox Highwind, first down and more. Fox Highwind to the 41-yard line. Moves the chains for the night offense.
And not only does he move the chains, but more importantly, Fox Highwind stays in bounds off of that catch, which means the clock is going to continue to tick down within below 5.5 minutes. What a pass by Pickler, and an even better job of Fox Highwind to make sure he stays in bounds and not go out after that play.
Yeah, good play by the veteran wide receiver. He exchanges some words with Anthony Y on the sideline. First down and 10, the ball at the 41-yard line. Offset I formation for the night offense. Going to be a handoff. That's going to be Robert Merrill to the outside and gets destroyed on the outside. Going to be a loss of 2 yards, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, Garrett Hudson with a big tackle for loss, making Merrill lose 2 yards on that play, setting up a 2nd and 12. Jacksonville needs to really dig in deep here on defense and make sure they get the stop here.
2nd down, 12 yards to go. Ball at the 39-yard line. Same formation. This is going to be a pass, though, and it's going to go to the swing. It's going to be Robert Merrill outside. It gets spin move and picks up 5 yards to the 44-yard line. The clock keeps on going. 4 minutes, 34 seconds left and counting. This is a monumental third down defense stop situation here for the Jacksonville Kings.
Yeah, and it really is. And I think that was a big mistake by Robert Merrill. I think had he continued to go outside on that run, he might have gotten to first down, but instead he goes inside and then meets a waiting Taekwon Hale on that play to get the tackle.
3rd and 7. Pickler in the shotgun. Pickler will throw. Pickler goes deep, and Johnny Pickler has a completion to Mike St. Green. Past the 10 and finally stopped at the 4-yard line by Stuart Samelia. But Mike St. Green with another huge catch is over 100. And the London Knights are looking to absolutely put the dagger on the Kings.
That is the second time we've seen Bernard Gooden get beat deep on that throw from Pickler to St. Green on the same side of the field. We saw it in the second quarter, now we see it in the fourth on that same corner route. And second time we've seen it again, and just all the way down, this time to the 4-yard line. And that could be a backbreaker for this Jacksonville defense. They've got to find a way to dig in and keep London's offense out of the end zone here.
Goal at the 4-yard line. If they keep it out of the end zone, it will still be a 2-score game. Run the ball. Merrill outside. Merrill gets stopped at the half-yard line by Greg Gaines. 2nd and goal coming up. What a collision right there.
Big hit indeed. But a goal line stand is definitely needed by this Jacksonville defense in the worst way here on 2nd and goal.
Less than 3 minutes left in this game. Tiberius Bovine is in the field underneath right there with Benji Madsen. I think they're going to run into that side. 2nd and goal. Merrill gets the handoff outside, and Merrill goes backwards. Loss of 4 yards. Big stop right there by the Kings defense. 3rd and goal coming up.
And that is going to be backup Ira Sharp, the backup strong safety, and on that tackle to get a big tackle for loss to keep him out of the end zone.
The London Knights do not have to snap this before the 2-minute warning. So we'll see what they choose to do. Hard count. Pickler will let it go to the 2-minute warning. Smart play. We'll be right back to see the end of this game. London 31, Jacksonville 21. You're watching the SFL Playoffs presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Third down and goal. Ball at the 4-yard line. And a handoff goes to Merrill. He goes backwards again. A loss of 1 yard. And it's going to be 4th and goal. Coming up on the APM Music post-game update, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green wrap up the inaugural postseason SFL game in England and preview our next playoff matchup, the Mexico City Aztecs and the Charleston Predators. It's all coming up on the post-game update. And Nate, we're going to see a field goal here, and Jacksonville just remains alive. It's a 2-score game still.
Yeah, 2-score game. They have 1 timeout remaining, but they've got to really, get a drive going on offense. They can't, they can't take their time. They got to really move quickly and move down the field in order to make this a game.
Field goal is up, and it is good. 34-21. London leads. As we take a look at the drive. Good drive by London. 8 plays, 68 yards. And it took about 4 minutes off the clock, ended up in 3 points. The over-under for this game was 57.5, and we are at 55 points. A really good job by Jack's Data. Can Zachary Patton get something going? Past the 25-yard line, a good stop by Benji Madsen on special teams to the 28. Marcus Dunhill, former league MVP, championship winning quarterback, with 1 minute and 51 seconds to score 2 touchdowns on the road. We'll need to get a gigantic play here very soon. 4 wide receiver set. To throw, Marcus Dunhill will pass. The ball goes to the outside. Willis needs to get out of bounds and spins inside. Doesn't get out of bounds. 2nd down and 7. No huddle offense here for the Kings offense here. Marcus Dunhill under center again. Will throw. Dunhill passes. Inside is knocked away and almost intercepted. Almost picked off. Coverage of the simulation. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that could have been ball game had Telly Max Scarborough held on to that one.
Oh yeah, that was the ball game. Coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues tomorrow with another wildcard round doubleheader at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. DC will have its fans behind them against Tulsa before Florida takes to the road for a rare playoff game away from home against Sioux Falls. Visit NLSE.com to find Next Level Scores in your area. The pass by Dunhill this time is knocked away again. It incomplete. 4th down and 7. It's 4th down territory, Nate.
Yes, it is, and this time Jeff Gagne with the tip pass and pass deflection, and it is 4th and ball game here for this Jacksonville offense. We'll see if Marcus Dunhill can continue this drive, or if London will come away with their first ever playoff win in franchise history here at home.
3rd downs, Jacksonville is 5 of 11, so under 50%. 4th downs, though, they are 4 of 4. Pass to the outside is going to be intercepted. Blackman has it, and the London Knights are moving on.
And that was ball game. Blackman with his 2nd interception of the game, and couldn't come up at a better time for him. Just stepping in front of that pass intended for number 82 Kingston Ellington, and this London team will come away with their first ever playoff victory in the postseason in franchise history. Well played game by this London squad.
We're going to see a knee on the ground. What a turnaround for the London Knights last season. They went 6-6. First playoff berth in history. They lost that playoff game. In seasons past, 5-7, 2-10, 2-10, 5-7. And for the first time, the London Knights are moving on to the quarterfinals. We're going to see a couple of knees by Johnny Pickler here.
Yeah, and now London, who, as we said, will have won their first playoff game, will just sit back the rest of this weekend, watch the remaining playoff games unfold, and really just wait and see who they will play in that quarterfinal round to see where the chips will fall as far as who their next opponent will be.
Yeah, being the 7th ranked team, who knows, but probably they're looking at probably Baltimore, probably Louisiana.
I would say either Louisiana or Baltimore would be my 2 guesses, but we could see some upsets in the lower seeds too, so we could see them facing if they're the highest seed remaining, if all the lower seeds win in the highest seed, lowest seed game, we could see them facing Lone Star in the quarterfinal round. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Right, absolutely. We're going to have enough time here for a punt from Mike Longfellow, but this is going to effectively kill the game here. 4-second difference between play clock and game clock here. London, 34 points. One of the best offenses in the league for sure. As the hang time ends this clock. And it's the end of the ball game. The London Knights move on to the quarterfinals as the Jacksonville Kings will try next season. It was a good season by Jacksonville. Last year they went 4-8. So going 7-5 and getting a playoff berth is nothing to sneeze at. But I want to hear your thoughts, Nate, of this game. Passing yards for London, 315, and Johnny Pickler was really, really good today.
Yeah, he really was the difference maker in this ball game. Throwing the deep ball to Mike St. Green on a couple of different occasions, as St. Green was the leading receiver of this ball club on offense. with 114 yards receiving. Just a tough day for Jacksonville's offense. Marcus Dunhill had a good day in terms of completion percentage with just over 75% completion percentage and almost 300 yards of passing. But even though he threw 3 touchdowns, those 4 interceptions that he threw to London's defense was the difference in this ball game after Johnny only threw 1. And those turnovers really end up being the difference in this ball game with the -3 turnover ratio for Jacksonville. But Jacksonville did have a good season. They will look to rebuild and reload in this upcoming off season. A lot of positives to take away from this season for sure. After a great turnaround from the previous season before, and nothing but positives and a bright spot and nowhere to go but up for this Jacksonville team as they look to move forward in season 19. But as far as London, just looking forward to seeing who they play next.
Johnny Pickler is your player of the game. Thank you, Stack Holdorf and 80 Gauge on stats. Beautiful job. And Nate, it has been a pleasure. Great job, and do not go anywhere with the SFL action. It continues here in a few minutes. Mexico City and Charleston set to do battle. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching another presentation of the Simulation Football League. We're gonna send it to Cam and Mike coming up on the APM Music post-game update. Cameron Irvin and Mike St. Green wrap up this clash. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the SFL postgame update. Along with Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. London holds on to beat the Jacksonville Kings 38-21. Got a little bit dicey late. It is the playoffs after all, Mike, and you knew Jacksonville wasn't going to go away quietly. They really did move the ball really well for most of the second half. London, too much firepower.
Yeah. And first of all, Cam, just as a player, I just want to say congratulations to Jacksonville on a great season, man, and nothing but respect for that organization. Obviously, they're a team that took a chance on me a couple of seasons ago and made me a second-round draft pick over there. So nothing but respect for Frank Gooden and a lot of those guys, Mike Hall, Jack Wall, all those guys over there, man. Great season, and I know you guys would have a great future ahead of you as always. But But yeah, Cam, I think a key to this game was the first possession of the second half. I mean, it pretty much started out the same way as the game did. Interception and turnover by Jacksonville gave London the ball right there when basically Jacksonville had done a great job after that of time of possession, keeping the ball in hand and making it close. But that gave the Knights I think the turnover and the points that they need to really that made a difference in this game coming out at halftime.
I think Emmanuel Blackman continues to be a difference maker in the secondary, and the game felt like a game of possessions, Mike. Jacksonville really wanted to make this game, an 8-9 possession game, really kind of slow down the pace a little bit. But there were times today that London kind of beat them at their own game, and they were able to do the same thing with a lot of great passes over the middle. From the very beginning of this game, Mike, Johnny Pickler made it a point to spread the ball around. Speedy caught some. McLovin caught a pass. He was hitting everybody often. Highland had a touchdown. You had one as well. And then Vin Callia came up with some big catches. Callia had a tough matchup today with Connor Darien. Darien did a nice job. But just too much firepower. And now London moves on to the quarterfinal round. And actually, I want to take a look at those are our 4 matchups today. But I wanted to take a look at the bracket if we could. Let's see. There we go. Let's get the bracket up there. So with London winning, the bracket reseeds it. The lowest seed or the team with the worst record or placement in the bracket will take on number 1 Vancouver. So London really doesn't know who they're going to play at this point. It's all based on Charleston and Sioux Falls. If both Charleston and Sioux Falls win, London will play Baltimore. If one of them wins, London would play Louisiana. And if neither of them win, London would play Lone Star. So one of those teams as a possibility is going to get eliminated, Mike, when we find out what happens with Mexico City Charleston coming up. But for right now, London just happy to be in the top 8. It is the Knights' first playoff victory in franchise history. So no matter who they play in the quarterfinal round, that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Cam. And I'm pretty sure the front office and coaches over there in London will tell you the same thing. Just win in advance in the playoffs. It doesn't really matter who's in front of you. It's going to be tough at this point, no matter who it is, whether it's Lone Star, Louisiana, who has a great team and great defense over there. And then Baltimore was obviously the defending champions and really put a spanking on London in the first game of the season. And it pretty much, we beat them at the end of last season, but they pretty much had our number historically. And I mean, it's just a great team that if you can avoid, you want to avoid them. But, if it comes down to that, hey, line them up and we'll see where it falls after that.
Coming up next here on NXT, we've got Charleston and Mexico City coming up, and this should be a terrific ball game, Mike. Charleston, one of those teams where you just all season long you knew they were good enough to compete, and when push came to shove in the Atlantic Division, they got the job done last week. Now it's up to Mexico City to answer the task because I'm not sure anybody's hotter than Kentez Johnson right now.
Yeah, Cam, as you just mentioned, these guys answered the call last week. So for all intent and purposes, last week, these guys played a playoff game. Winning, you're in, losing, you're out. And Kentez Johnson, as you just mentioned, he answered the bell last week. 31 out of 38, 81% completion rate. 358 yards and a touchdown. So, yeah, he stepped up big last week. He's going to have to step up big again here today. And a couple of huge guys that stepped up with him. Ken McCarroll had 9 catches last week for 99 yards. Lyric Da Vinci had a big touchdown catch. And it seems like to me, Cam, whenever Charleston needs a big play offensively, Jay Taylor seems to be right there in the mix. He had a big play last week. But Keith Swearengin, he's always there to balance his attack off. He's not being utilized as much since Kentez came over, but he's been huge for this team. And then let's look at Mexico City. Matt Wilson, the Hall of Famer, he's had one of his best seasons, Cam, since season 13. 32 touchdown passes on the year, which is tied for third in the league. His interceptions, 28. But, that's about – you'll live with that in the SFL if your quarterback can throw less interceptions than touchdowns in this league. His QBR is 97.5, which is third in the league as well. So Matt Wilson's having an MVP type season, and we know he's going to throw to his favorite receiver, Mike Daggs. He has 8 touchdown catches on the season that leads that team. But up front and defensively, Dan Tritz is always going to be a threat for them defensively. And Ben Charles has been great for this team. He leads them in tackles, and he also has 7 interceptions to boot for them. So I think we're going to see a tough, balanced attack on both sides, Cam. Defensively, both teams, it's going to make a difference to see what the defense can do with each offense. The Charleston secondary is going to have the work cut out for them for sure. But Johnny Bravo, Corey Menor, and those guys over there, they can get the job done. We're just going to matter to see if they can make a play here or there on these great Mexico City receivers.
I think, Mike, unlike the first game, this is a running back game here, because Phoenix Jones and Keith Swearingen both, they get a lot of usage. They both have the potential to erupt in any game at any point, but they don't always necessarily deliver. At least they haven't this season. Some games they kind of go in a shell and they disappear, like Phoenix Jones did last week with Mexico City. Charleston has the #1 rush defense in the SFL, and you know they're going to be all over Phoenix trying to make him uncomfortable. How can Mexico City utilize Phoenix on the field to make sure that he doesn't end up going into a shell and Mexico City doesn't become one-dimensional? That's going to be an interesting thing to watch. Tim Hackett and Aaron Alexander have the call of Charleston and Mexico City. We'll be back here at the half, but until then, enjoy more SFL playoff action. This has been your post-game update and more SFL football coming up next, live here on NXT.